All right, hello people from the internet. Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. The time has come for me to make another non-gameplay video. Today we're gonna be talking about Gozag. Um, I'm pretty sure this is randomized every time that you worship Gozag, so people only refer to Gozag as Gozag. Um, Gozag the Greedy teaches that the world belongs to the rich. Thus, accepting this principle may exchange their gold for divine assistance. Followers of Gozag do not earn piety. The only way to impress this god is by amassing a fortune, and worshippers may request as much assistance as they can afford. Fortunately, Gozag's worshippers are said to have the touch of gold. This is pretty funny because the most emblematic ability of Gozag is that immediately upon worship, Gozag turns your defeatist foes' bodies to gold. This pretty much is like gaining piety with other gods, except that it has no cap. As you can see, the abilities are kind of pricey. Um, but since literally everything you kill will turn into 10 or 15 gold or so for the entirety of the game, well, that is a lot of money to get. Um, yeah. Your enemies may become distracted by gold. This ability scales with the amount of piety, well, gold that you have. So the more gold that you actually have, the more likely the enemies are going to be distracted by gold. The way that this happens is that if you recently generated money, gold, you have like this gold aura thing. It doesn't scale with the amount of money that is on the floor. So yeah, like it's very confusing, but it is a buff that is applied to you and that carries over through levels. Like in fact, some people that try to do mega cigarettes or try to optimize that have mentioned in the past that maybe it is not the correct thing to just auto explore and pick literally every piece of gold. Maybe it is better to carry the momentum over into the next level so that you still have the distracted by gold buff into the next one and into the next one and into the next one and so on and so on. Um, I don't know. The time that I tried it, I just got brilliance and haste every floor pretty much. Which yeah, Gozak lets you do that. It's really busted. Um, you can petition Gozak for potion effects. That's what I meant by getting haste and brilliance every floor. Um, when you use this ability, the way that it works is that it offers you a random set of potions with a price attached to it. So the minimum for using this ability is 400 gold. Um, so if you don't have 400 gold, you cannot use it. But the actual cost, it might be way less than 400 or way more than 400. But you get to choose. Sometimes there can be some really bad rolls of potion petition where all three of them have berserk. That's something that you probably should be aware of, especially if you're going into the super late game with Gozak into extended. If you're a really strong mage and all three of your options have berserk, that's probably gonna kill you. Yeah, so maybe if you're doing this, consider being in mummy form. Well, that's like super end game stuff. Most normal characters are not really gonna have that issue. Even if you have three berserks, you can probably just berserk and kill whatever is threatening you. But yeah, potion effects are really strong. You can get haste, you can get potion of 3, you can get potion of mana, you can get obviously curing, heal wounds. I think you can get resistance, but I'm not sure about that. I know that you cannot get stuff like ambrosia or there's another one that you cannot get. Hmm, I don't remember, but there's a couple of potions that are not offered. Um, Hold on. Let's see. I have my Wiz mode thingy here, so I can just inspect the ability. Potion petition says nothing. No, doesn't say which ones are the ones that cannot be offered to you through potion petition. Well, I can tell you that the really messed up ones like mutation or the bad ones like the degen are not gonna be offered to you, but yeah, I know that there's more, like leaving those aside that cannot be offered. Well, if you use Gozag for long enough, you'll figure it out on your own. It's not that big of a deal. Like the good ones, Might, Brilliance, Haste, Mana, Heal Wounds, Curing, those are offered, of course. So yeah, like you kind of know what you're gonna get when you use Potion Petition. It might take a couple of attempts to get what you truly want to get. So if time is essential, you might as well just use the actual consumable that you want yourself from your inventory instead of using from the thing that Gosa offers. Um, Okay. Gozag has two other abilities apart from that. You can fund merchants seeking to open stores in the dungeon. This costs gold and it scales up the more you use it, but it creates a shop. And you can create crazy amounts of shops, but the more you create, the more expensive it is going to be to create the next one. So probably not the greatest of idea unless you have a crazy amount of money already and you really desperately need a specific item that you're searching for. For example, very recently I had an octopus that went like an octopus spellcaster that went all the way to bolts without having statue form, and I already had the skill to cast it. It was just a matter of actually finding it, and I would have been immediately, instantly able to cast it. But unfortunately, I never found it. That character would have definitely paid money for statue form. Um, so the last one, you can bribe branches to halt enemies' attacks and recruit allies. This ability is really crazy strong in specific levels such as Bolt 5 or Sod 5 or in the Orb Run. In the Orb Run, you can get friendly Panlords by doing this. If you activate Bribe Ranch in the Orb Run, do note that if you activate it in SOT 5 in the Orb Run, it will remain until you get out of SOT, and in which case you will have to use it in depths, and then you will have to use it in the dungeon if you still want to keep um, decreasing the likelihood that you're gonna have to fight a really awful Panlord. Um, so yeah, Gozag is simple, not intrusive at all. Apart from the fact that since bodies are turned into gold, you can kiss goodbye to anything that would come from a corpse, like dragon armor, troll leather armor, or Eleonoma wands. But those are some pretty reasonable sacrifices to make for the unreasonable amounts of power that Gozag provides you with. Potion Petition is crazy strong. Um, Funding merchants is situationally useful. Probably the ability of Gozag that you should use the least. And Bright Branch, very expensive, but literally game changing. Can give you the ore for free pretty much, and can give you the bolts 5 room for free. Well, I say for free, but the cost is right there. It costs 3,000 gold. Still 3,000 gold for the orb or for bolts 5 is a pretty cheap price to pay for a worshipper of Gozag. Um, let's see what the game has to say in the powers tab. Both flesh and spirit are inferior to wealth, and therefore all monsters are turned to gold upon death. Other monsters may then be briefly distracted by imaginings of great wealth. Stalwarts can purchase immediate help in the form of potions, and may also pay to attract shopkeepers into the dungeon. Particularly well-off adherents may bribe the inhabitants of a branch of a dungeon to turn a blind eye to their presence or even to change their allegiance. Gozag likes it when you collect gold. Gozag's powers are not affected by the invocations skill. Gozag has some pretty funny titles if you get 27 invocations with Gozag. By the way, you can get the plutocrat or the aristocrat. I don't know if you can get the capitalist, but it's pretty funny. Anyway, the titles and how they change, because they don't scale with invocations. They scale with the amount of money that you have. So the more money that you have, the more the more grandiose the title is. I guess we can put it like that. Now Gozag Rat. As always, do not abandon God. It's a bad idea. You're gonna die if you try to do it. If you need to ask, You should not do it. Gozag does not appreciate abandonment and will call down fearful punishments on disloyal followers. The first of Gozag's punishments is commercial. All shops open through Gozag's intervention shut their doors forever. The disloyal are advised to finish their shopping before they launch their betrayal. For as long as Gozag remains angered, potions will have a chance to fail when quaffed, pretty deadly, and any foes that are encountered may be granted potions of their own to assist them against the ex-worshipper. A Juggernaut comes into view, and the Juggernaut goes berserk. Imagine that. Yeah, that seems pretty bad to me. Gozag's wrath lasts for a relatively long duration. Yeah, I would recommend you not to abandon Gozag. I say it for every god, but I would recommend you not to abandon Gozag. Not that you should, or you should even feel the need to abandon Gozag. Gozag is great. But yeah, that's it about Gozag. Very simple, very straightforward. It's just sheer power without really fancy tricks or anything. It's just powerful for the sake of being powerful. It used to be even more powerful. Like Gozag used to give you one free potion petition upon worship, which that was removed a while ago, a couple of versions ago. And some people thought that Gozag was the best gun in the game because of that. I never really thought that it was the best gun in the game, but I've always thought of Gozag as a really, really powerful god, like probably top 5, with or without the potion petition for free. So yeah, if you have never played a Gozag character, Gozag goes with pretty much everything and everyone. The best way to go Gozag is if you get early shops and you're like, oh man, look at those items. Like those items, I get them and I win the game. That's the perfect moment to go Gozag because you know for sure that you will be able to get a very significant power spike very quickly by going a god. And the point of God Sync roll is, or like the most powerful God Sync roll to be precise, to refine what I was about to say, are the ones that give you something really strong really early into the game. Okawaru Hero, for example, the Shining One accuracy and see invisible, and of course Gozag Money, Potion Petition, Distraction, and you can even exacerbate that if you choose to go Gozag when you know that there's something good to buy in a shop. So yeah, I do that a lot on stream. Like I always say, like if I get like 3 items in shops in the early dungeon that I want, I just go Gozag. And I think that it's a pretty good way to almost guarantee a win. Other than that, I don't really go Gozag because I kind of have Gozag soft banned otherwise. But anyway, that's it for Gozag. Gozag is pretty good. Yeah, seal of approval. And thank you to my supporters on Patreon, Anthony Emergence, Blink and Die, Dulos Ball, Inon, Grapophilia, Fede Frog, Shaper, and Merlin. And of course, thank you to everyone who contributes on Twitch through subscriptions. If you have Twitch Prime and you want to use it on me, I would appreciate it a lot. Otherwise, I prefer Patreon. And of course, always thank you to Dan Brani for the generous contributions.